What's good? This is Noah from Highsnob, and we are currently in Las Vegas for the Project Trade Show. This is where tons of buyers come to explore both existing and new brands to put in their stores. We're going to focus on the Now section, which is the new streetwear branch. We're going to talk to some designers, see what their collections are all about. Come with me. Hey, man. What's going on? So first off, for those that may not be familiar with your brand, how would you describe it to a new customer and a new viewer?
Well, I think AMG, acronym for Atomic Mission Gear, like we're creating lifestyle, but with a purpose. Like the background behind that is utilitarian and survival and safety. So what we're really trying to attract now is like a lifestyle, kind of like correlation of that, but then with real utilitarian value.
So we actually take the real gears that are used in the, let's say, in the industrial or military arena, and we bring that to the general lifestyle streetwear market. And I think that really speaks a lot because we are original in what we do, authentic in what we do. But we are, not just wannabes, compared to what other brands are offering.
So pretty much what you want to do is have an elevated kind of streetwear brand, correct?
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to introduce a sense of opulence, almost like an androgynous feel as well. We're introducing a lot of crystals, which is also something that you see in a lot of other brands. Kind of just a coincidence, actually, but I guess it just shows that it's a well-founded trend that's building right now.
What is the process like when you're trying to find these fabrics and find these patterns?
And I had set colorways that I wanted to do for this collection in mind, so I had to find, just for the plaid, for example, a set of plaids where they already had those colors available. And so I was going through all these plaids, and kind of just like when you find the right thing, right away.
So talk us through this new collection. What's the main influence behind it?
I'd say like 90s sportswear, just a lot of color, a lot of like fun, poppy 90s sportswear.
I see a ton of colors. I also see a lot of influence from like Polo Sport and brands of that nature.
Yeah, totally. Any of the heritage brands, obviously we're all 90s babies, so we just grew up with it, and now we want to kind of remake it, pay homage to it. I love this. It's got some cool 3M hits, nice big back graphic, little fleece set to match. North Face-esque with the cool belting and the buckles, kind of like steep techie in a way.
Feels like where I should be. You know what I'm saying? This is where I do belong. First off, how would you describe Fair Play to those who might not be familiar?
I'd call it like contemporary streetwear at a good price. We try to keep the prices as low as we can to help out the consumer, but use the highest grade of materials within that. So I wanted to do a lot of vault and a lot of sort of, really the theme is Orwellian and also CIA theme. So our first collection is going to feel like if Big Brother's watching you, they really should just watch you. So we have a lot of vaults and a lot of reflective, a lot of neons. And then coming through the delivery too, it's more like CIA's watching you. So you get sort of the mafia vibes through the Hawaiians and some of the like plays with Sergio Cecchini, sort of polar fleece and things like that.
All right, so first off, for those that might not be familiar with Kandoor, how would you describe your brand to that new customer?
It's just something that's creative and fun. All forms of expression, and it's accessible to everybody, and so just a good right amount of style for accessible price point, I think. Yeah.
Nice. And what is the influence behind this latest collection?
So this collection is SS19. It's called Forms of Belief, and so our debut was it's all based off of season. So our first season was called Lucid Delusion. It's kind of like solid belief, and so the next season following was this blunt message. And so Forms of Belief is just kind of I don't want to really hint and get too political or religious per se, but we all have this strong-willed foundation to do whatever, maybe conviction or whatnot. So it's just kind of harkening back to that. So different viewpoints and whatnot. So.
All right, so we're here with Tulani from the Rad Black Kids, California. How are you, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. So First off, the name. How'd you come up with the name of your brand?
Well, it's crazy, right? Like, you're a young black guy. Back in the day, well, 4 years ago, you're getting into design, and you automatically go into urban. So I thought to, like, flip the script a little bit, right? Like, I started snowboarding when I was 17, when I moved to the States. So I was into action sports. So I looked at it and I was like, all right, let me flip it, do some action sport-inspired streetwear, right? Like, so do some surf-looking gear, do some street-looking gear, and put them all together, and then just wrap it up with the Rad Black Kids.
Nice. And where are you originally from?
I'm from Zimbabwe. Yeah, Zimbabwe in Africa. So I've been here for since 2003. Been here for some years now. So the brand's been around since 2014. So we started off with skateboards, and then after a while, the dream was to do clothes since I was like 14. And I started like architecture, man. I finished like a master's in energy, right? And I looked at it and I was like, you know what, let me just chase the dream a little bit. So I did the skateboards and the longboards, and that was going pretty well. So I started gearing towards clothes. And with clothes, I wanted to do something that just doesn't add to the noise, something that kind of stands out with its own legs, right? So the way we do the clothes is the intersection of doing stuff that's reminiscent of the 60s and the 50s in terms of quality, but at the same time has this kind of, this little sauce to it, a little bit of swag to it.
And about this recent collection, what was the influence behind it?
So the recent collection is it's all branded with uniform. So I grew up going to schools where you wore uniform, and the dope thing about uniform was uniform kind of makes everyone a blank canvas. So it's more about who you are instead of like what you're rocking, right? So I came to high school in America and it was flipped. So now it's about what you're rocking and the flavor of that. So I thought of this thing where we used to have once a year when we wore uniform called Civvies Day. And when you'd rock your civvies, you'd wear your own clothes, so dudes could evaluate each other and be like, oh, all right, so this is you now, right? So I thought I'd taken the dichotomy of doing civilian clothes, that's civvies, and mixing them with the term uniform, and trying to create, like, instead of doing basics that everyone does as a basic, trying to do something that kind of looks at the socio-cultural aspects of what uniforms do for people and brand that onto clothing. So you can have these basics that everybody can rock, but it's still within this paradigm of trying to keep everyone relatively similar, still being different, right? Because it's our twist on everything.
Got you.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about now?
Now it's pretty legit, man. I mean, we got dope over here. We got some serious, like, players in the game, like people who I've looked up to. So it's just nice to be in that space, man. I won't even front. I'm just happy as hell to be here, man. Like, talking to you guys, been reading you guys for a while. So this is just a really nice opportunity to get, young cats, like, a little bit of a voice. So.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us, man.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it, man. Yeah.
Right now, we're here with Sheck Wes. What's going on?
It's good, man. We live here in Las Vegas. Cactus Jack World.
How does it feel to be one of the most, requested, talked about dudes out right now?
I mean, it's regular. I've always, told myself I would do these things, so it's not like a big surprise to me or anything. Like, it's bigger things that I look forward to doing. Like I got different definitions of success, or being well sought after or being prized,
And is that past music?
Yeah, most definitely.
So music right now is just kind of like your introduction to the world, and then from there you're gonna definitely, jump into different avenues.
I mean, I'm only 19 years old, so God willing, I got a lot of life ahead of me. And every year I plan to do something insane.
For sure, especially, with everyone knocking on your door, how do you really know what to say yes and no to? Do you have a good team around you, or it's pretty much just you kind of being like, I know this is the right move to make?
I mean, I think about it like the Oval Office, like I'm the president and I got my cabinet, creatively and most I got the word, like it's about what I want to do. But sometimes, I got people in my cabinet, that I got to talk to, and they let me know, and they let me realize or understand things differently, because at the same time, I don't know everything. I don't know a lot,
Word. And has fashion always been a part of you, or was it like your friends kind of just started to bleed into your whole style and not?
I mean, my father, I've never seen him work another job other than it being in fashion. And I grew up, with screen print machines in my house, and my uncles doing merch for other artists and things like that. So I learned how to do a lot. And then having certain friends, for designers and things like that. I used to make my own clothes, you know, and yeah, I guess fashion still is, I guess, a big part of me, but I'm not like super big on it because I'm such a like athlete too. I'm so like chill, so I like merging all of these worlds in one, you know. I got on some Jordan sweats, some Olive Nines, and a Supreme sweater. You feel me?
Word. You also go crazy on stage too, so I'm sure the sweats with the Jordans, that's probably, I mean, that's kind of like your basketball court now, right?
Yeah, and I feel like I gotta be like comfortable and be able to move on stage. You know, that's why I'm just like that on stage. You feel me? But I mean, I was just having a conversation about this because I really stopped like caring for that part of fashion, for like the super high fashion part once my mom like sent me back to Africa because I lost like all my clothes, you know? So it was like I had to start back new, and when I came back, I learned like a different type of, you know, value with clothing and just life.
Word. So obviously we're at Marquee right now. You about to tear it down for sure. What's the project looking like, man?
Oh man, my boy's looking crazy. I mean, it's all me. Every single song is just Sheck Wes. I mean, I could have had craziest features on it, but I mean, I feel like I just have to establish myself first, you know, as an artist, and let people know what my sound really is, what my music really is. And I know it's gonna be such a like, you know, is everybody thinking I'm just young Sheck Wes with crazy turn-up kid that plays ball. But I really want to like show people my art and why I am artist.
So it's like very versatile, lots of different moods, slow songs and things like that.
Yeah, so my boy. Coming soon.
All right, man. Well, you about to get on stage soon. Thank you, man. Peace, man.